Outdated advice that's continually echoed by other sites, avoiding unnecessary expenses and making sure that you're on track for a fabulous time visiting Vegas. That and more in this guide to avoiding mistakes on your trip to Vegas. A top 12-ish list of things not to do. Hello, friends, and welcome. Vegas is about having a great time, but beyond the things that you definitely should try, here's a list of the thou shalt nots that you definitely want to avoid so that you'll only have great experiences on your visit. Number one on our list, don't leave town without a splurge night. Yes, Vegas is a town where a lot of people dress, let's just say, quite casual. And random rascal races can break out at any time. It happens. I'd like to tell you that it doesn't, but it does. Just to be clear, if you're a person who needs an electric mobility scooter, I in no way mean any disrespect to you, but if you're the kind of rebel without a cause whose idea of a good time is renting hover-rounds to see who can run over the most toes in a cannonball run down the strip, then we probably aren't going to be lifelong pals. Just go, Speed Racer. Go far away and never return to this bipedal land. Back on point, Vegas isn't just a jort's paradise, but there are also a host of fine dining options, upscale bars, and high-end shows that everyone deserves to experience at least once. Take advantage of the money-saving tips that we provide on our channel and use the savings for a dress-up night that will leave you with signature memories for your trip. Don't leave town without a splurge night. Number two contradicts a common refrain of other don't do this type videos and articles, and that's don't listen to the avoid airport taxi advice. It's seemingly an echo chamber out there, as this has become a common staple of even recently published advice, but it's simply based on really old information. Back in December 2019, flat rates were implemented for airport taxis, and this avoids any long-haul scams that may have occurred in the past. At times, taxis can be cheaper and quicker than Uber or Lyft as well. Of course, find the transportation option that works best for you, but don't let this common but outdated advice steer you away from the taxi option. Bonus tip 2A, while on the subject of taxis, don't try to hail a taxi on the strip. If you're used to traveling in urban areas, then the process of hailing a taxi may come natural. But if you do so on the strip, you're quickly going to become frustrated with taxi drivers simply ignoring your efforts. That's because it's illegal for them to stop and pick you up on the strip. Taxi stands are available at all the major hotels, so simply go to one of those to secure your taxi. Number three, don't wait for restaurant reservations. Popular restaurants are, after all, popular. So if you have a place in mind that you're building an itinerary around, go ahead and reserve early, as many of the prime spots will fill up quickly, and nobody wants to spend their Vegas time waiting in a standby line for hours just hoping for the chance to go inside. Number four, don't underestimate the distances between hotels. Vegas resorts are ginormous. I think that's the scientific term for it. So if you're making your first trip, you might see how properties look close but can quickly turn into working your Fitbit into overtime. So take advantage of things like the monorail and trams between properties when you can, and allow time for rideshare or a cab when you can't. Soon, the Las Vegas Loop will begin opening stations, and that will create additional opportunities as stations come online. 4A is a tip to save your souls. Hallelujah. Keeping the size of the properties in mind, don't forget the comfy shoes. Even if you're taking advantage of transportation options, you'll still do plenty of walking. If your feet are screaming at the end of your first day in Vegas, it can make for a very long trip. So pack the comfy shoes and save your souls. Number 5, don't move things in the minibar. Mini bars are common throughout Vegas hotel properties, and typically the items are equipped with sensors. What this means is that as soon as you pick the item up, it can be added to your room charge. So, if you're really in the mood to spend $20 on a fun-sized candy bar, then go ahead and grab it. But if you're just browsing or hoping to make room for your bottled water to fit in the fridge, then you may be in for a rude awakening when you look at your hotel bill. Number 6, don't use ATMs in the casino. If you can avoid it, try to steer clear, as casino ATMs have notoriously high fees. If you need to withdraw cash, ATMs are common at convenience stores downtown as well as on the Strip, and you'll save some of your hard-earned cash by utilizing these. Additionally, if you're going to be doing most of your gambling at one property, see about taking out a marker ahead of time, and that can help you both to avoid traveling with lots of cash as well as to avoid the pitfalls of casino ATMs. Number 7, don't take glass containers outside. Whether walking on Fremont or the Strip, open containers are allowed, but glass is not. So, if you're making drinks in your hotel room and taking them along with you, be sure to pour them into a non-glass cup before you leave the room. Number 8, don't stay off Strip if you're planning on doing the Strip. Unless you've seen the Strip plenty and are seeking new opportunities, or if there's a unique reason that you're coming to town, like a conference, convention, location, etc. If you're just trying to save a few bucks and this is your first trip to Vegas, then ultimately you'll spend more on rideshare or cabs than you'll ever save on the room. Furthermore, there's the expense of your time. And depending on where you're at, there's also potential safety issues if you're planning on walking to and from the Strip. So if it's that first trip to Vegas, go ahead and shell out for the hotel located on the Strip. Number 9, don't pay box office price for tickets. Box office prices are notoriously inflated, but you can easily find tickets for most shows and attractions at significant discounts. If you want tips on how to do so, then see our How to Get Cheap Tickets video that's available on this YouTube channel. Number 10, don't gamble without an exit strategy. Always set yourself a limit for losses and don't go over. Too many people end up ruining their experiences by chasing a win past the point that's financially responsible for their budget. The exit strategy isn't just what your limit is, but also then what's your backup plan if you lose quickly. Maybe a restaurant, bar, attraction, or somewhere else that you have in mind. Having those options will make it easier to walk away if you reach your financial firewall. Number 11, don't jaywalk. Vegas is extremely pedestrian friendly. Whether it's the covered areas of the Fremont Street experience or the numerous elevated crosswalks available on the Strip, the town is built to handle masses of folks walking. However, don't take a shortcut and play human frogger in the streets. Vegas police take jaywalking seriously, and it's a $350 fine if you're caught. Vegas spends a lot of money to keep pedestrians safe, and if you jaywalk, you'll quickly be cutting a check to contribute to those efforts. And number 12, don't forget to drink water. You are, after all, in a desert. Stay hydrated, my friends. It'll make for a much more enjoyable experience. We've raced through our 12 tips. I'd love to hear what you think about the tips in this video via the comments box below. And if you have any tips that we missed, then please add them to the comments as well. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Further, I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe to the channel and then ring that notification bell so that you don't miss any tips in the future. If there are any resorts, restaurants, attractions, shows, or locations that you'd like to see covered, then please add that to the comments below and we'll get a video published on the topic just as soon as we can. And ultimately, I hope that you have an incredible time visiting Vegas. We'll see you soon.